Alfie is a WOR race winner.
Jensen makes it 5 in a row.
Danny Berejnay wins on debut.
Shinaka returns to winning ways in WOR.
Season 12 sees a new man. It's Shadow. He is your Xbox champion.
And Jensen is the new king of PlayStation.
From the back row of the grid, against all odds, Nicholas Longy wins the title.
Goes past the safety car.
What has gone on here?
Bowman spins.
Stunning move from the Spaniard.
He's taken out Rambo. Here comes Longy.
We're going 4 wide down to turn 1.
Oh, he's taking him out.
The captain line was complete.
Sonic to the inside.
Shadow wins at Brazil.
Absolutely sensational.
Hello everyone and welcome to WOR Tier 2, Season 13, Round 10 here at Abu Dhabi. We have some lovely jitter right now, and I am here with the wonderful Badgerman. I am Scruffy. I will just bring Badger in if I can. Are you here?
I am here indeed. Abu Dhabi, usually the season finale and real F1 has been for, I feel like a good 10 years now, maybe more. Nah, not more. But for us, it's not the season finale. However, it is kind of the season finale of the sprint races. So at least there's that. The third and final sprint race of the season that we are going to witness here today. That would be 10 laps and then 29 laps in the full 50% race that we are going to have after that. And the drivers already in qualifying, a lot of drivers actually on their first lap already. They want to use their track time to the best of their abilities. And who's going to be the first one across the line? Let me just quickly find that. I think there might be a Ferrari on his way, but nope, that's not the first one actually. Tricky to find right now, but I think the first one's going to be Drake Dempsey. Right now, P17, but of course, nobody said a lap time yet. And he's coming through the final corner. Got a little bit of traffic in front of him, a Red Bull there that he's running into, but 22.8 is the first lap time for Drake Dempsey, first on the board. And considering Fian McKee's lap time there of 23.3 and Alex Bolger behind him as well, that seems like a strong time to start us off with.
Absolutely, getting out the gates quickly is always important, especially in races like this. Especially since this round, I believe we have the sprint and the full race, don't we? So yeah. Qualifying sets up for the sprint.
Yeah, qualifying sets up for the sprint. This is the qualifying before the qualifying, if you will.
Absolutely. Don't entirely understand all of that, but there you go. Sprint races for the win. As Boilen Ferrara gets the 1:22 6x4 to go up onto the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, very strong lap time there from him. I'm just quickly going to check the sector splits because that's, I think, quite interesting. Oh, wow. He really gained all of that in the final sector, pretty much. He was up half a tenth after 2 sectors combined. And then in the final sector, he gained almost 2/10.
Wow.
Or he was even half a tenth down. Hold on, was he half a tenth down? Did I just misread this? He was. Oh yeah, he lost in the middle sector. Yeah, he was actually a little bit down, and then he gained 2/10 in the final sector. That is impressive from Boilen Ferrara. Wow.
Jack Humphrey's getting a big snap of oversteer going around the corner there, which I don't know will probably have invalidated the lap, but they're still going at full speed. So
nope.
Potentially
he
not.
has not invalidated.
Wow, that was very out of track limits. So they must have lost a lot of time. And we'll see if he has or not.
That's still not invalid, but 23.5.
That's
8.5,
bad.
almost 9/10 down. But hey, he's got a lap on the board, and really, this early on in the session, that's what matters the most. You want a lap on the board so that you have at least something that you can fall back onto. Harvick Cohen is rounding the last couple of corners. No invalidation from him yet either. But the final couple of corners can do that around here as well. Don't forget, like, you can invalidate almost anywhere. P8 for him, 23.2. 6/10 down on Ferrari. We've seen this season. You obviously haven't been here, but we've seen quite a few races where qualifying basically had everyone within 6 or 7 tenths. I remember Austria being the absolute craziest, the season opener, where we had like everyone within 5 tenths or so. Obviously, the track lends itself to that.
Whoa!
But even at other circuits, 6, 7 tenths, the whole field, and all of a sudden here we have Taz who's almost a second away. The gaps are a lot more pronounced than they used to be, I feel like, especially at the top. Farah almost 2 tenths away from Dempsey, a quarter of a second from Bolger, 3 tenths from Flores Valles. There's a lot of gap there at the top. That's something we haven't seen so far. Let's see if the drivers will be able to close in on Farah. Maybe he just had that good of a first lap that, you know, he's just... Basically, he's done now. He's driving out of the pit lane again. But, you know, maybe he feels like he can't really improve much more than this.
Absolutely. You mentioned Austria, of course. It's one of those tracks, as you said, that does lend itself to it. This track, on the other hand, probably not so much. Because it's quite a long track and because it's got quite technical corners at times.
Yeah, not just at times. I mean, you look at the whole final sector, really, and you notice that half of the corners of this circuit are assembled in the final sector of the track. So, yeah, the first sector has four corners, but really it has about 1. The left-hand of turn 1, 2, 3, 4 are basic. In qualifying, they are flat out. As there's an AlphaTauri that's spun. I think that was Danny. Yeah, he's not Marcus Talley. It was Danny Coe in P9 right now, who spun just before.
AlphaTauri. Sorry.
Turn 10.
Yep, I misheard you because Alpha right at the start.
Oh yeah,
I misheard you and thought
wrong Alpha.
Yeah,
as Crofty calls them, Racing Point.
Yeah, not inaccurate.
Yeah.
As we got Tom Martinez.
All these different teams.
Yeah, Tom Martinez
with
rounding
all the same names.
The final corner.
Oh,
poof, that's not a bad time at all. That's
a fantastic lap time right there. Once again, I want to check. First sector equal with Bourlem Farah. He lost in the middle sector. He lost to Dempsey. He lost a whole 10th almost, and to over a whole 10th, and to Farah almost a 10th. And then the final sector, it feels like the final sector is the one where people gain and lose time here. Which obviously, as we just said about 5 seconds ago, that's where half the corners of the circuit are. So, you know, any mistake there will cost you quite a bit. And they're really, you know, one corner leads into the next and the next and the next. So the moment you make one mistake, especially if you make it early on in the final sector, who just messed up?
That was Drake Dempsey on the final corner, incidentally.
There you go.
Just getting a massive snap of steer there. That McLaren going into the pits, but I absolutely love the livery. It's one of my favourite liveries on the grid right now.
Oh, it is the new McLaren livery,
Yes.
isn't it? The one that they debuted at Singapore with the pink.
Yeah, I really like it.
Yeah.
It just stands out.
Yeah,
more
it
than
looks
the previous
good.
one did.
I would have. I feel like the pink and the orange don't play well together. I would have preferred maybe a bit more of like the sort of light blue that they have around parts of the car. I think the light blue and the orange with some black, that would be perfect.
Sergio Sabrino goes up into P3.
Yeah, beats Tom Martinez by 100th of a second.
Oof.
Finally, we're getting it a little bit closer there. I was a bit worried that maybe Ferrari's just going to drive away with it, as he has been doing for really the last 5 races in a row. I mean, he had a win at Montreal. He had a win in the sprint race at Belgium. He had a 3rd place last week at Spain, 2 4th places at Silverstone and Belgium in the main race, and well, a P10 in Monza. That was really just unlucky. But Farrar, ever since he joined out of Tier 3, I think he's been the guy to look at. It's between him and Harvey Cohen, who wasn't here last week, but 2 weeks ago had, of course, this... I can only describe it as a maniacal race, where he pulled off a no-stop around Monza in intermediate conditions.
Can you even no-stop? Is that a thing?
Yeah. Yeah, you can. He was very cryptic about how he did it. We inquired, of course, because that's what, as a commentator, you have to do, really. That's the afterwards you have to be like, hey, what's going on? How? Also because I was just incredibly interested, but he wasn't going to give us a proper answer. Apparently, and this is all I could read between the lines a little bit, is that so Harvey Cohen, I think, is a part of McLaren Shadow. It's like their test drive in F1 esports, and or development drive or whatever. And apparently McLaren found something in the setup, which setup can be very broadly defined here, but they found something that extends the tire life of intermediate and full wet tires.
Oh, right.
Beyond just the driving style. So the driving style also, I actually watched on board the last couple of laps when he was in the lead and just holding on for dear life. I watched his driving style. He never went below 4th gear at Monza, which, yeah, good luck getting out of turn 2. Good luck getting out of the chicane in 4th gear or 5th gear even. And so he was very, very gentle and careful on both the throttle and the gear choices that he made. And that it cost him quite a bit of time, but at the same time, it saved him tire life. And at the end of the race, he only had 77% tire wear, where some other drivers that actually pitted halfway through the race ended the race with right around 70%. So absolute maniacal race from Harvey Cohen. Just a performance for the ages. And I would still consider, after, 9 races that we've had so far and 2 sprint races, that was the performance of the season from anybody on this grid.
Yeah, I think it would be. Especially if you can somehow pull off just no-stop Monza. I don't know how that's even possible.
Yeah, beats me as well, but he actually did that.
On Inters, I can understand it. Because obviously with Inters...
It was on Inters.
Because Inters, obviously, I don't believe you've got the requirement to change tyres. And use at least one of the other compounds.
On Inters and full wets, and also I think this is possible on Inters. I don't think this is possible on full wets, because the Inters around each and every circuit, they last around they're supposed to last around 75% of the race.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Full wets, full race. I'm pretty sure.
No. This year there's a change. Last year the full wets lasted longer. This year, the full wets actually last around 3 to 4 laps less than the Inters. The Inters last exactly as long as the hard tire.
Oh.
Again, according to in-game data, according to what the game tells you, the full wets last 3 to 4 laps less than that.
Which
more than the mediums. They're literally halfway between the mediums and the hards in terms of lifespan.
Which... wets being shorter lifespan than the Inters kind of does make sense. In a way.
Yeah.
Because it should.
In a way.
Wets are just designed to push as much water out of the way as possible.
Exactly.
Rather than, give you solid grip on the road. They're not really meant to do it. They're just meant to give you a footprint on the tyre and then push as much water as they can off the circuit.
Exactly. Meanwhile, I think we have the calm before the storm now. We have about 4 cars out on circuit, make that 5 now. Sergio Sabrino's leaving the pit lane. Yeah, everyone's in the pit lane right now waiting for that last run, but Nelson Alves is not. And Neither is Boulem Farah, although I think Boulem Farah is just on his outlap right now.
Yes.
It just doesn't show. But Nelson Alves is on a flyer, and he is up a quarter of a second in the first sector alone. This might be a very good lap to watch.
Who was that, sorry?
Nelson Alves in
Nelson
P15
Alves.
right now. Yeah, in the Alpine. First sector split already quarter of a second faster than before. So that alone would put him in P11 right now. Second sector split, 3/10 up on his own time. And that would put him P10 right now. If he finds a 10th more in the final sector, that could shoot him all the way up to P6 potentially. But there's a bit of traffic. That makes him run narrow. Oh, that might hurt him just enough. Running narrow out of 12 into 13 is not the situation you want to be in. They have opened up that corner, but that makes it all the more crucial to run wide on entry. He loses a bit of time, and he loses enough to lose that P10 off of Jarne Dovjan, and it's P11 only for Nelson Alves. Meanwhile, Boulem Farah up a 10th of a second as well. What is going on? This could be a 22-4 if he gets a good final sector here.
It's a hugely impressive drive through quali. I mean, it's a little bit wide at the corner, but we're going to see what happens when he comes across the line. That is an increase, but not
he lost
a lot. Not a lot.
Yeah,
It
he
was a
lost
little
only
bit
200s. 200s gained there overall. Let's see who's next. Jack Humphrey starting a lap. I want to see if anyone
Jeffrey
is,
Ritchie, I believe, coming round onto the final corners.
I think he's just starting a lap, though. Yeah, he is.
Gotta love the game not telling me it's an out lap.
Yeah, it's a bit weird in that regard. Harvey Cohen starting a lap, I'm pretty sure. Yep. Everyone just starting their final laps here.
Exactly. We just got to try and spot.
I think Taz in P19, the other Alpine, is on a flyer right now. Yep.
Oh, it's the mythical wing cam I have found.
That
hardly ever shows itself, that one.
Yeah, there's so much traffic out on the circuit right now. Literally all 20 cars are driving right now. So really congested. Alex Bolger has crashed on the exit of turn 3.
What happened there? Especially since the race controls just pulling up with Marcus Fowler. What on earth happened there?
I have no idea. He's
I'm
just
going to have a check with
stranded
Marcus.
there.
See what's happened to his car. Is there anything wrong with Marcus's car? Not that I can see. But anyway, we're coming around to the last few laps people are going to be able to put in.
Sergio Sabrino has retired in the pit lane. I was
Jeffrey Ritchie's
there,
up.
but no.
Jeffrey Ritchie's power sliding and spinning.
Oh my God! What is going on this qualifying session?
My goodness. See, Jeffrey Ritchie nearly saved that so well.
Tom 97 does not have a front wing.
Does to me. What is going on with the game? Oh, wait.
He does not to me.
Wait,
He's just driving off the...
Hang on. Hang on. I'm focused on Tom, and I'm looking at a Haas.
Oh, yeah, that's wrong then.
What?
You should be looking at a
we go.
Mercedes.
No, hang on.
Does he still have a
Yeah,
front
there we
wing?
go. There we go. Now he doesn't. But I was looking
Okay.
at I was on number 7. It even showed I was on number 7, and it was showing me a Haas.
Huh.
Drake
Wild.
Dempsey crossing the line, not improving at all.
No. Daniel Kjelsen, I think, might be the last one on an improvement here. And as I say that, we're just commentators cursing everyone today, aren't we? That means now that Boulem Farah is the pole sitter once again. He's really getting comfortable in that top spot. What is going on? Today feels weird. Today feels off. But Boulem Farah is the pole sitter. Alongside him will start Drake Dempsey in P2. Jeffrey Ritchie, the championship leader, starting in P3. So things are getting very interesting here. Thomas Harvey, who is second in the championship, is not here today. So that spot is up for grabs for Harvey Cohen and Boulem Farah. Cohen is going to start, I think, what was it, P9 or something? He was somewhere higher midfield. We're going to see it in a moment. But those are the championship. P6. Ah, there you go. It was a better lap than I expected. But there you go. Willem Farrar, P4 in the standings, P1 on the grid for the sprint race. Drake Dempsey, P6 in the standings, P2 on the grid. Jeffrey Ritchie, 1 in the standings, 3 on the grid. Sabrino is running off the top 10 in the standings, but P4 here, so he can make a jump potentially if he has a good day. Flores Valles, first race in this tier, starts in P5. Harvey Cohen 6, Tom 97 in P7, Leroy Brown P8, Alex Bolger 9, Yerne Dovzhan rounds off the top 10. And remember, for the sprint race, only the top 8 will get points from 8 to 1 downwards.
Fun times. As you now await the grid to form up for this sprint race. First of 2 races.
I wonder if anyone's willing to risk soft tires for the sprint race. It would be interesting. So, according to the game, the soft tires are supposed to last 9 laps. The sprint race is 10 laps long, so it is a risk, but you also gain, at least early on in the race, you gain almost 7/10 per lap.
If they're supposed to go 9 and it's 10 laps, I think
I'd risk it personally.
I would.
Yeah.
I would take because
I would do it if I was near the front. If I was like starting in the top 3, top 4.
Absolutely.
If I'm 20th, I'm not doing it.
No, there's no point.
I'm going mediums.
But...
I'm hoping everyone else messes up.
But if you are at the front, and here we go, we've got 3, 4, 5 lights. Awaiting that wonderful start, and we are off for the sprint race. Good start by both cars at the front. But that is locking in place right behind with all the cars behind. There's 3 cars alongside each other, and that is a bit of contact between the Aston Martin of Flores Villas and another driver there.
Oh,
that is a Mercedes
Tom
round.
97. Is it Tom? I
He's
think
not
it was Leroy
round.
Brown actually.
Neither of them
No,
are
he
round.
hasn't.
That was well saved by both
Yeah,
of them. I think both of them had a bit of a scare there, but they did exceptionally well to not get spun there.
Yeah,
wow.
I mean, he was proper sideways. I mean, that was rally cross style, and he held that. That's not what an F1 car normally does, but impressive stuff there. Well done. I think there was so much going on in that first corner, those first 2 corners there. You know, there was just inevitable contact at the end of the day. And Marcus Towler has already made up 5 places. By the way, everyone's on medium, so we don't need to show you the tires, really. Because literally everyone and their grandma, medium tires.
Marcus Towler making a little bit of a mistake there. He's now ahead of the Ferrari of Harlan Marquis. He's going to be going down into this hard... It's not an easy sector at the end here to try and stay in front of it because the camber goes outwards, of course, on these corners, which I believe they added on purpose. Just to make it that little bit more difficult.
Yeah, make it more difficult. Why not?
Present for Latifi over there. As they come around these final corners. Obviously, Boal and Farrar setting the fastest lap so far. Someone will probably set it again, I'm sure, but we will see. As there's not a huge amount of battling going on, but there is between Kjelsen and McKee. Kjelsen having to go very wide to try and stay there, but they are right on the bumper of Fionn ahead. He's going to go right down to this corner down here, but I mean, the point here is, of course, is if you make one mistake, you lose about enough time. That is a dive bomb and a half!
Woo!
What a move!
That is a Verstappen-esque move right there into the same corner as well. I know some people are watching probably thinking, he mentions Abu Dhabi 2021. How dare he? But that move looked pretty much like the move that we saw at the end of last year's season. So, impressive stuff. I mean, that takes guts to be as far back as he was and to then just say, you know what, I'll just brake late, I'll be fine.
And they're
still
battling.
side by side here. Yeah.
Oh!
But Kjelt's up the inside, and that certainly helped him there. And now Fia McKee is trying to sort it out. The ETA drivers not really working to get forward, but more so battling each other. I don't think that, ET8 are watching on and thinking, oh yeah, this is good. P14, 15, 16. They're probably thinking guys work together. But every man for himself here. You make the positions or you don't. You get the points or you don't. This is not a team championship. Not within the actual teams that we have here. McLaren, Ferrari, Red Bull, whatever you want to call them. or neither
no.
that nor in the esports teams, as Mark Schluter is out, retired in the pit lane.
Oh dear.
Why would you do that?
I guess he dropped so far off the back of the field. It's the only logical explanation I can really see is we now enter a bit of a train.
I think he just got damaged and he said, you know what? I'm not competitive this way. I'll start from P20 in the race.
Oh yeah, of course, because again, this is the problem with the sprint races. I completely forgot that there was, of course, the race coming up.
Yeah.
As we go through these corners, a fantastic viewpoint for the front wing of the car of Phil McKee. Love this camera.
Yeah, and
such a good shot in the game. It looks awesome. As we come down towards here, the problem is we're now in a bit of a DRS train.
A bit, yeah.
So this is, of course, the only downside of the sprint races.
Yeah, that's a bit of an understatement to say we're in a bit of a DRS.
Yeah, so
train.
has anyone
literally
put the
from
softs
P1
on?
to P19, everyone's got DRS. Although Taz in P17 seems to be falling off. Oh, he actually gets attacked by Nelson Alves. The Alpines go side by side. Oh my goodness, and that definitely throws a spanner in the works, and that means there is 2 DRS trains now. One from P1 to P16, and then one from P17 down to P19.
It's certainly interesting to see just how hard they're actually battling. Even into team battles are becoming a thing. But obviously, with Alves and Taz, they are, of course, as far as I can tell, not on the same team. So even though they are in the same cars, as Nelson Alves goes very wide there, which does, of course, let Taz back through.
And meanwhile, Drake Dempsey is getting closer and closer to Bourlem Farah. He might fancy a move into turn 9. And let's see, is he getting close enough? 3/10. The gap is coming down to 1. He's not going for it just yet, but he is all over the rear of that Alfa Romeo.
And it is getting very, very close between those two. I mean, even further back it is, but that's the point. They're getting so, so close. The DRS, of course, giving all of the advantage to the Haas of Drake Dempsey. And it's nice to see a Haas up at the front of a field sometimes.
They don't. Oh,
whoa!
Flores Valles just ran incredibly wide into the final corner and out of the penultimate corner there. Which is a bit surprising because that was one of the sections that they have changed on this track. Obviously, the Mickey Mouse chicane before the new turn 5 is gone. But also in the final sector, they opened it up a little bit. And that turn 15, that right-hander where we saw Flores Valles just ran wide.
And here we go.
That's been opened up as well. That's basically almost a flat-out corner these days.
Marcus Stoller's gone round by the looks. He's slow and he's on the back of the grid. But the most important thing is Drake Dempsey with the DRS is going to pull back. It's not going to be enough. But, of course, you do have more than one DRS section on this part of the track. The chicane breaking it up. And I'm not entirely sure that's not a good exit of the corner compared to Bourlem Farah. But he's still going to get the speed. I don't think he'll have enough before the corner, unfortunately.
No, he was closer last time.
Yeah.
He was closer last time. It was just under 2/10 last time. Now it was just under 3/10. So he was definitely about a 10th closer last time out. But yeah, it's tricky. You have these 2 DRS zones back to back, but you have the chicane in there that's quite awkward to navigate, and where dirty air will make you slow and will ruin your exit a little bit. Yeah, yellow flag. I think that was for Marcus Towler again. That was for Marcus Towler again.
Hot tires, burnt tires, I guess.
Possibly, yeah. The question is whether he will stay in the race or whether he will retire his car as well.
I mean, I would like to think he won't, but then again, if I was in that situation, maybe. I can't honestly say I probably wouldn't.
To be fair, you could just... Oh, he spun again.
Oh, no.
Turn 15, yeah.
Yeah, just burnt tires. That's all it is. It's just completely shot tires.
You have to creep around the circuit so slowly if you want to cool them down, or pit for new tires. And he gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and he retires. No, he didn't care. That was an intentional 5-second penalty. He just did not care anymore. He was like, you know what, just get me into the pit lane and get me out of this car.
And here comes the Haas of Drake Dempsey right into the DRS. This is definitely giving him a chance.
No.
Oh, not quite. I mean, that would be a ballsy move to send it down the inside. Whoa!
Yeah.
Big snap.
Oh, wow.
Big snap of steer there. That's going to be a huge advantage.
Corner, that exit at turn 9 is so tricky because there is a little bit of a bump there in the exit and in the road, and it makes the car so unstable out of what feels like absolutely nowhere. Just all of a sudden you get the snap oversteer, and it's very, very tricky to navigate. It's very tricky to catch that once it happens. And now Drake Dempsey might actually be gone. Oh, and he runs wide again. Oh, is that his tires just... Yeah, rejoins behind Jeffrey Ritchie. That might not be the worst thing, but maybe his tires are overheating at this point. That's really the only explanation I have for this. Oh, he tries to send it. That was not on. Oh, my goodness.
Exceptional. That is an exceptional move from Flores.
Wow.
That is an exceptional move.
Yeah.
Now that Haas is slow.
And he's going for another one. Up the inside. Oh, my goodness. Drake Dempsey is just dropping like an anchor right now.
Oh my goodness. Also, that is slight contact on the rear right of Flores Vias by Jeffrey Ritchie.
There were many slight contacts there. It was quite a lot. Vias and Ritchie, Cohen and Dempsey made contact. They're going 3 wide into turn 9. I cannot believe what I'm seeing. Vias doesn't even pull out of that. Kind of does. Half-hearted, but he gets the better exit on Cohen. What is happening?
This is immense racing.
Kick it off. Yeah, Vias around the outside. It turns to the inside now.
Oh,
he doesn't seem to have the grip, or does he? Oh,
what a shot!
And now Jeffrey Ritchie up to P2, and that might open the possibility for him to potentially drive away. But you know who has driven away? That's Bourlem Farrar. 3 laps to go, and he's got a 2.8 second gap. I'm pretty sure I know who we're going to see on pole position in the main race.
Barring any mistakes, of course, but this is just insane. This is just a group of cars that are all fighting each other. There's probably about 2 or 3 battles going on between all of these drivers. It's not just one battle. That's the thing, is we're probably going to see Sergio Sabrino very close to the back of Drake Dempsey on this corner. He's going to come round onto the DRS straight, and of course that's going to give an advantage to all the drivers, but you just can't tell who's going to go for what. It's immense, as we're going to see Sergio Sabrino.
Everyone's going for everything all the time, clearly. Oh, Dempsey, that's a bit late. Oh, not too late, though.
Still side by side.
And he gets... I think, did he get pushed there by
got
Sabrino?
slightly
I know
bumped.
he blocks Sabrino now. What? Tom takes them both. Oh, that was beautiful.
That was a full-on
Tom 97, he takes evasive action here because he knows these two might go a little bit deeper into the corner, but he keeps the position. P5 for Tom 97. What an opportunistic move. Oh, Drake!
Never remove there.
Yeah, Drake was too optimistic there, and that might actually land on the steward's desk after the main race, and there might be consequences for that one. Drake Dempsey already has 5 penalty points this season. He might accrue some more with that one.
It was never.
But for now, he keeps. Yeah, it was. But for now, he keeps P6.
Yep. But now, of course.
The question is, how do you penalize this in a sprint race weekend? Do you just penalize him for this race, but then he gets to keep the grid position? Or like, it's tricky for the stewards to come to a verdict here. I wish we had live stewarding. That would be... honestly, I think that's the next step for WOR, I hope.
Flores V is making
if you're watching.
on Jeffrey Ritchie. This is going to be sending him around the outside. There's no room there, and he's going to get caught up. But that's a Mercedes attempting a move on the Red Bull. Not quite. It's right on the rear end, as the camera shows there. He is going to get the DRS at him. Not quite enough, though. And that is the Aston alongside the Ferrari into the corner. And what a move that was, making it look easy. It absolutely isn't. I can tell you that. It absolutely isn't.
It is. I can tell you, it's not for someone like you and me. I'm not.
But for them,
I don't know how good your. I don't know how good your skill is, but for someone like Flores Vias, former F1 esports driver.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that was not the hardest one for him in his career.
Absolutely.
So.
It's always an interesting
meanwhile,
one.
P4 and P5, Harvico and Tom 97. Not the first time we see a Red Bull and a Mercedes battle in the closing laps of a race at Abu Dhabi. for some important positions here, but not the stakes not quite as high as they were last November. Was it December even? I always forget.
I honestly
It's so
can't
late in
remember.
the year
My
now,
brain
it's-
has blanked the trauma out. So I mean, but here we go.
See,
Tom Muff.
I was sort of on the other side of it. It was December actually, December 12th.
I'm fairly
12
neutral
days
to be
before
fair.
Christmas.
I'm fairly neutral to
fair
be
enough.
fair, but it's like the whole trauma of just
Yeah.
having that entire just emotions.
Yeah.
We potentially are going to see a move by Tom on Harvey Cohen here because
No.
he's getting close occasionally.
Everyone has DRS. Everyone has DRS
yeah, it's the
though. The
train.
only move we could see is Richie on Vyas. Oh, they're both going too deep.
Immense.
Oh my goodness, if Vyas holds it round the outside. I mean, once again, that's the experience of Flores Vyas. Richie looks. He thinks about it. But you have to break at some point, and Richie had to break before Vyas did.
Absolutely.
And so Boulem Farah comes home, takes the 8 points and pole position for the main race. Flores Vyas holds on to P2, Jeffrey Ritchie P3, Cohen 4, Tom 97.5, Dempsey 6, Dovjan 7, and the final point in the sprint race goes to Leroy Brown. So Richie now in the standings at 113. Harvey Cohen at 85, only 3 points behind Thomas Harvey, who again is not here today. Boulem Farah at 81 after his second sprint race win out of 2, because he wasn't participating in Bahrain. He was still in tier 3 at that point. So if I check tier 3 real quick. Oh no, that one he actually got beaten by Alex Bolger, who finished P10 here today.
And that was a deserved game driver of the day for Vias. Absolutely deserved.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
Some of the moves that he made, that was immense.
Yeah, I
moves.
mean, that was fantastic
Wow.
stuff from Flores Vyas. And yeah, I mean, P2 front row start now for the main race and his first 7 points of the season. I'm pretty sure he's happy. And we're going to have to wait and see what the main race brings. But certainly it should be a lot of action. Let's really quick before we head into it, because there is not going to be a formation lap again, which is a little bit annoying, but it is what it is. We have to work with this. The two strategies that we can see is either medium hard or a soft to hard, or obviously the inverse, a hard to medium or hard to soft. If the drivers run... by the way, I just noticed I have a little mistake in my little track database. It said soft for 18 laps. That is clearly wrong. They last 9. But yeah, so if you start on mediums, the pit window is right around lap 12, give or take. Yeah, really 3 laps either way. But if you start on the hards and you want to go onto mediums, the pit window is about lap 17. Again, give or take 3 laps. If you start on the softs, it's pretty much bang on lap 8. If you start on hards, it's pretty much bang on lap 21.
And here we go. 4 lights, 5 lights, and we are away for the first lap of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Great start by Flores Vyas sitting in behind. All the cars side by side behind him. It's going to be very, very close. No contact, thankfully, so far. Commentator's curse withstanding. As they're going to come round, and there is a lot of positions changing further down the field as cars are just switching backwards and forwards as we come down into this corner. Of course, Marco Stoll, a 5-second penalty of corner cutting, getting a place.
That might get removed by the stewards post-race. However, no, it won't. Obviously, it won't, because he will have to serve that in the pit lane.
Absolutely. So this will be interesting. There's a huge amount of battling going on about halfway down the field. And that's someone right to the back of the McLaren of Alex Bulger. I did not see or who that was. As 5-second penalty for Marcus Stoller again. This
He might get one of those removed.
maybe.
If he only pits once, he could get one of them removed. But the other one, he will at least serve one of them. So and a drive-through penalty.
Ferrari's
Wow!
What is
Left-it is out. Left-it is out. That might be at least that is a safety, a VSC. VSC for now. VSC for now. No full safety car.
Oh.
Van Mylander's job is currently not requested. We have the virtual safety car. So everybody going slowly, no overtaking, everybody under the delta. I don't know what was going on there in the back, and I don't know what Marcus Towler's doing, but he can serve this penalty now.
Oh,
5-second
no.
penalty. What is Marcus Towler doing today?
This has to be
I mean-
intentional, surely. There's just no way.
I mean, at this point, he just doesn't care.
He sat off the track, but like, there's a reason I'm watching right now because I'm interested to see where all these corner cuts are coming from.
He's looking to overtake Alex Bolger under VSC right now. What am I seeing right now? I don't understand any of this.
On? Well, we are under VSC, although on mine it just says sector 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah. What I'm surprised by is that Marcus Towler did not serve his drive-through penalty, because under a normal safety car you're not allowed to serve a drive-through penalty, but under a VSC you can, and so that would have been less time lost for him, because he has to serve it anyway within 3 laps. So, you know, why not serve it under a VSC? It loses you a lot less time because everyone else is going slow anyway. So, don't really understand why he's staying out there. Flores Via speeding under VSC. I cannot believe it.
There's a huge crash as well. Huge crash.
I talked about the experience of Flores Vias. That is a rookie mistake right there. Speeding under VSC. That's a drive-through penalty. He's got 3 laps to serve that. He doesn't have to do that now, and he decides not to do that now. He has until the end of lap 4 to do it.
I don't know what's going on. This is just absolute mayhem. As that is the VSC over now, probably part of the reason why.
Kjelson's pitting. I think he also had a penalty. Let me see, just to make sure. Yeah,
damage.
no, he only had warnings and damage. Yeah,
Damage on the...
and Marcus Towler's left the
front wing.
session.
Yeah, front wing damage to Kjelsen.
Yeah, and I have a bit of a problem right now, and that is that I'm stuck in the race director screen.
Oh,
and
no.
I can't get out.
Marcus...
Yeah, that's...
we will eventually, I'm sure, see what Marcus Towler thinks of all of that in the chat, but for now... Around the races, Tom Masters and Sabrino are absolutely going at it. Right side by side, battling for the position. And this is very, very close. Sabrina's just ahead. And that is going to still be side by side.
I don't see anything right now because I'm stuck in the... I think I have to leave the game and rejoin.
If you disconnect your controller, plug it back in again. Give that a go, see if it works. If not, yeah, or I fall. But
my controller,
or whatever you use to control the whole game normally.
Yeah, normally I use the.
Basically, disconnect control item. Okay, maybe not.
That didn't. Yeah, that
Flores
didn't
Bias is going down. He's in the pit lane. Probably serving the penalty here. Absolutely, that is the drive-through penalty being served.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
It's going to drop them all the way down.
That's annoying.
To, I believe, they'll come out in 17th position. I don't think they're far enough back to be close to Daniel Kjelsen. We currently have exceptionally close racing.
You have to carry for now. I'm sorry.
Yep. We got exceptionally close racing currently on the midfield between Danny and Phil McKee. Danny's catching up with the car ahead with that Williams. Not enough to make the overtake, because of course they are now in the DRS train. And it's just basically a don't lock up into the back of someone game at the end of that straight. Let's go round onto the second DRS on the circuit. It's not going to make too much difference there. But Jeffrey Ritchie is right behind Boilen Farrar. Not close enough, unfortunately, to make any moves yet, but will be far enough ahead of Harvey Cohen to still be out of the DRS range. And that is the important part for him, I'm sure. Keep the gap long enough that Harvey Cohen can't keep with them, but, of course, keep the gap small enough between himself and Boilen Farrar to make sure that he could use the DRS on them. As we continue here, a little bit further down, we got some drivers getting close as well in the midfield. Not too far apart from each other. It's sort of turning into that DRS trade again. It already had, I suppose. As it looked like we have a Badger man rejoining, which is lovely.
Yeah, I am loading in still, but should be back at any moment now. My goodness. Yeah, it happened to me before at the other the second sprint race. I forgot that that's a thing. At Belgium it happened, and yeah, that's the thing. That
I think Kjeldsen just retired
use
on the
race
circuit.
director. Oh wow.
Yep, that was that.
Yeah,
Yep, there. I just saw the McLaren hiding behind the Armco over there. And that's on circuit. If that doesn't get clear by the
meanwhile,
game.
let's quickly go into the tire choices for everyone. Everyone's on hards except for Sergio Sobrino on mediums, which is why he's been gaining 8 places already. I think that's certainly a huge factor there. But that means he'll be the first one to pit, and he'll be the first one to pit around lap 12, and he will...
Oh, no!
The reason...
We got Jack Humphries in the wall. No front wheel anymore. Not out of the race.
Safety car!
Oh! And we are probably... Oh, no! But for us just past the pit lane entrance.
Yeah, a lot of drivers have already passed. Sergio Sobrino's the first one. And he's probably going to go onto hard tyres and try to go to the end, which will be a bit of a challenge, but it's not impossible. I don't understand why anyone else is pitting, why Tom 97 and Harlan Marquis is going other than maybe damage, but they are already on hards. It doesn't work for them, so I'm not surprised that they all stay out. Yeah, he has to. But you can't keep the tires on that you're on, so he has to switch to a different tire.
Yeah.
And in his case, that's going on to mediums. Wow. And everyone's gone past the safety car as well. I guess the safety car wasn't out in time, and the leaders were able to go past, so now they could pit.
And I think we're probably going to see it.
I don't think so. They're hard tire runners. It's the mediums only last. The mediums only last 15. That's not enough. We have 23 laps left at the end of this one. Even with a 3-lap safety car period, that's still 20 laps for 15-lap tires.
Very true.
That's not going to work. Unless they really want to risk it. And Tom 97 clearly wants to and clearly does. But, I mean, if you're in the lead right now, if you're Bull Farah, if you're Jeffrey Ritchie, if you're Harvey Cohen, you're not going to risk it, I think. You're not going to go for a strategy that can easily lose you a position, like right now, on the podium, and could actually leave you without any points at all.
He is going in, I think. Oh, that was close. They're all doing the typical strategy.
The dummy. Oh, Yevgeny Dovzhan. He's the only one so far going in.
Well, for us, certainly got me. That the pit dummy entrance.
But he is going in.
Oh dear, what's he going to switch to?
Interesting.
Let's see. Soft.
That's a
fastest lap run. Surely not this early on.
Yeah, I think he knows that he has to go for another stop later on, and he's saying, well, why not use the softs now and then use mediums later?
Absolutely.
To work the way through the field, because right now, if you're on softs right now, as Yevgeny Dovzhan will be, you're gonna be, compared to the 6-lap-old hard tires, 7-lap-old hard tires, I would estimate you're gonna be about 2 seconds a lap quicker, if not more.
Absolutely.
I'd say 2 seconds sounds about right. 1.8, 1.9 seconds a lap quicker. So Yevgeny Dovzhan will have a massive pace advantage. He should be cutting through the field like a hot knife through butter. But this track, not necessarily known for its fantastic overtaking opportunities. There are a few, but you can also get stuck behind other cars very easily. And if all the advantage you have is just tire grip, and not so much straight line speed or, ERS battery, because everyone will have 100%, then, it's going to be a bit tricky to make those positions up again. You have to be very, I was going to say experimental, but that's not the word. You're going to have to be, you have to risk a lot in the right positions. You have to know what you're doing. and you have to do it well. And I don't doubt that any of these drivers do know what they're doing and do it well, but it's going to be tricky to overtake these hard runners with the soft tire. Sergio
Driver in the pits.
Sabrino to be Taz's pitting. Interesting.
Well, there you go. Let's have a look.
I mean, at that point, you don't want to pit anymore unless you absolutely have
Mediums.
to, which it seems like, yeah. To then go softs at the end, maybe.
Yeah.
Again, that is certainly a possibility. For Tom 97, Harlan Marquez, Jack Humphreys as well. That they are on mediums right now, and then they will go on to softs at the end. But yeah, right now, I think the net leader, I would say, of this race is Sergio Sabrino. Because he's already done his pit stop. Everyone else will have to pit again. He's got 5 laps fresher tires than the rest. And yeah, a whole pit stop ahead of them as well. So, and he doesn't have to heat up his tires anymore either. So that's why, by the way, we are seeing, for those of you who are watching who may be wondering, why are we seeing everyone start on hards these days? Pretty simple. The hards, if you pit onto them, they take a long time to warm up. So everyone wants to get them out of the way early on so that they already start on warmed up hard tires. And then, you know, you switch on to mediums, they are easier to warm up, or softs, they're even easier. Which, by the way, now that we have the safety car, a hard to soft strategy has become a lot more viable.
The safety car is going to be in this lap, of course.
Yep.
But yes, as you say, hard to soft is now pretty viable. They've just got to get to the point, sort of lap 19, and then everyone just decides to pit.
21.
Lap 19 to 21 to give themselves sort of that buffer, I assume.
You got the wrong result to the question of what is 9 plus 10. It's of course 21.
It is 21 because, of course, if you like, they last 9 laps, of course. They last that long. Doesn't mean they're any good.
So you could go lap 20, but 19 would be too early. You could go lap 20, but 21 is generally the preferred time because the hard tires on their 20th
And here
lap
we go, backing it
will
up.
still be faster. Will still be faster than the softs on
One
their
and Ferrari
10th
got a
or
worse
9th
start
lap.
than Richie there.
Yeah, it wasn't great at all. Jeffrey Ritchie immediately on him. Remember, DRS will only be enabled once we get to lap 11. So 9 and 10, no DRS here. So Buell and Ferrari not really under that much pressure, at least. But yeah, that restart for him was not great at all.
What a send by Tom Martinez down the inside of Sabrino. But Sabrino, of course, on the hard tires, which, you know, you would expect to have.
Yannick Dovzhan is the one I'm looking at. Who should be sending it every corner on the next guy. And he does on Mark Schluter. Oh, and there goes an AlphaTauri round. And Dovzhan, look at this. Dovzhan picks up 2 places. Mark Schluter, 10-second time penalty for corner cutting, for avoiding that wreck. But he did gain an advantage there. So I think that's somewhat justified. He might get a drive-through penalty. He pulls off because he also gained a couple of positions, and he still gets a 5-second penalty for gaining 1 position. I think those penalties might get removed to a degree.
This feels like a Marcus Fowler situation again.
Yeah,
it feels very similar. You know, avoiding it.
I think the correct way, the perfect situation is what we're having right here. Is Dovzhan goes on Fiat McKee. That's another position into the final corner. Those soft tires are in their perfect situation right now. You've got slow cars all around. This is like driving through rush hour traffic when you're a motorcycle. You just cut in front of everyone. You just go past everyone. They're all creeping around at snail's pace, and you are flying. Well, maybe don't do that in real life with a motorcycle and rush hour traffic, but you get the idea. Yannick Dovzhan immediately on Nelson Alves, already gapped Fiat McKee by a second, and that was out of the final corner. That is insane right now. Dovzhan goes for the move, brakes late, brakes really late, but still easily makes the corner. That's how much more grip he has. Dovzhan up to P7. Oh, this is going to be amazing to watch. The medium runners up past Mark Schluter and Danny Coe. They're up into 11th, 12th, and 13th, but they're also falling off a little bit off of Sergio Sabrino because of all the confusion that happened with the AlphaTauri, I think, of Danny, who was around on the last lap. Dovzhan now closing in on Bolga and Brown and Dempsey and Cohen and Richie and Farrar. They're all in a train together. Will he make another lunge? Not in the final corner. He's a bit too far away, but surely he has to strike while the iron's hot. And right now, it is glowing.
Especially now the DRS is enabled, it's going to give a huge advantage because you can catch up with the corners. You've got to be very careful going that wide, of course, because you can easily pick up warnings, and that's never entirely fun.
Yeah.
But he's getting
That's why he
so
stayed
close.
off the track. That's why he stayed off the track a little bit longer.
He's gonna do it
Because he
again!
sends it!
What a
Whoa!
send!
Again, a Verstappen-esque move.
Amazing.
This time in a Red Bull, so kind of justifiable, I guess. But my goodness, is Alex Bolga going to send it back on him? He looks for it.
He can't. He hasn't got
But
the
no,
tires.
he knows. Yeah, he knows he can't because he doesn't have the tires for it. Dovzhan, my goodness. An absolute madman, a man possessed here today. Yannick Dovzhan on those soft tires. And remember, he has to pick
Sabrino.
for mediums, most likely again. Yeah, Sabrina past Nelson Alves. Or is he? Ooh, it's getting
Whoa.
close. But he is. He is past.
Dovzhan's about to make a...
Dovzhan, oh! Hits
Whoa,
the wheel!
no!
Brown! Brown is off!
Contact.
Into the wall. Oh no, Dovzhan too aggressive there. Question is, does he have damage from that contact?
Let's have a look
If
from
he
the
pits
outside.
now, then no, he won't. Okay, he might still have damage,
I'm
but
gonna
it's
have a
not enough
peek.
for him to pit.
Let's have a look from the outside. See if he does, because I think at the most he's going to have an end plate knocked off.
Yeah,
No
nope.
end plates missing.
Nope.
It looks like he's got
Seems
no
fine.
damage from that, which is very lucky.
Very lucky indeed. However, he might get a penalty for that post-race.
Yeah. That is, of course, always a possibility with moves like that.
Yeah.
And we are going to see him
If
with
that
just
ends
so
up
much
on
more
the
grip.
steward's desk.
So much more grip.
Yeah, but
than the cars.
it's waning. It's waning.
Yeah.
It's going down every single
Burning the
corner,
tyres.
really. Exactly. Those soft tires do not last long. They are 5 laps in. However, really they're 3 or 2 laps in. Because, of course, some of those laps were spent under the safety car. And you can't really count those. But, it's, oh, my goodness.
Harvey Cowan is
He's
very
still-
likely to make a move on
Yeah.
Jeffrey Ritchie here, and that's going to be
Yes.
quite a smooth move there. He's going to have to try and make that. DRS helping the Haas, of course, catching up behind of Drake Dempsey.
That looked like taking candy away from a baby. I mean, DRS against a guy that doesn't have DRS, and there you go, same tires as well. Yeah, it was easy for Harvey Cohen there. Routine move, not much to think about. Now I think Harvey Cohen's attention goes forward to Guillem Farrar. 1.8 seconds, 1.9 seconds, the gap there between Harvey Cohen and the leader. He wants to bring that down a bit. It's not working. 2.1 almost here. Had a better exit, though, out of the final corner. But, yeah, Guillem Farrar just managing that gap perfectly well. And sometimes, you know, I feel like that's a skill that is just very underrated in a driver. The awareness of knowing how far away the other cars are and being able to manage a gap. Being able to, you know, exactly keep it where you want it to be, which 2 seconds, that's a nice buffer right there. That's where you want it to be. If it goes down to 1.9, 1.8, yeah, sure. But you don't want it to end up at 1.5, 1.4.
Yeah.
Because then all of a sudden, you know, it gives the idea to the guy behind that, hey, if I use a bit of ERS here or there, I can close this down to a second. So 2 seconds, nice safe gap, social distancing, fully adhered to. And I think Guillem Farrar is doing a fantastic job at that. Again, it's something that is not often talked about, how important that skill is for a driver to manage a gap.
We are potentially going to have a move slightly further down the field by Nelson Alves on Tom Martinez at some point. He's getting very close to the back end of that Mercedes, which is surprising.
Yeah, he is, and it is surprising. However, Guillem Farrar pitting for mediums. That's early. That is very early.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, meant to
I
pit
think
some
he
more
felt that he had the gap. Remember, so I haven't mentioned this before, but you do lose about 19 seconds in the pit lane here. And he had the gap. He was 14 seconds ahead of Flores Valles. So he will be 5 seconds behind Flores coming out of the pit lane here, right around as I think Danny has messed up a little bit. So, yeah, let's check the gaps, actually. It is about 4 seconds that he is behind Flores Valles. There you go. So it was actually a pretty good pit. Oh, no, he had a gap, yeah. It was 14 seconds between Valles and Cohen, so about 16 seconds. Oh, there you go, 20 seconds then you lose in the pit lane. Or Willem Farrar at least did. But now he's in clean air. He has to work up the tires, warm up the tires, but he's in clean air. He doesn't have to worry about battling anybody, and that's worth a lot. I can tell you that right now. Not having to worry and just hot lapping effectively. Obviously, taking care of the tires and everything, but you're really just driving against yourself, your car, the track, and the time, but not any other opponents on the circuit. Makes things quite a lot easier and should gain him some time. Plus, the undercut certainly helps. Question is whether Cohen responds, and the answer is yes, he does. A very emphatic yes, and it's not just him, it's Drake Dempsey as well, who's coming into the pits.
Lots of people.
For his stop.
So that is mediums onto the car of Harvey Cohen. And I think most drivers will be going onto the mediums. There'd be most that didn't.
At this point, mediums to the end, yes.
There's no point in going on the softs at this point because you wouldn't
exactly.
make it.
You wouldn't make it. You'd have to go again, and
it's just a waste
you
of
won't
time.
gain 20 seconds from that kind of strat. Oh, bad pit exit for Harvey Cohen. Dempsey immediately on him. Farrar is passed by I don't want to say a country mile, but by a lot. The gap between Farrar and Cohen is now 3 seconds. Remember, it was 2.
This got incredibly close, and I don't think the soft strategy has worked out for Dovzhan. I don't think it's going to work.
Well, we're going to find out.
Yeah, we are
he will have fresher. He will have fresher. I think it actually does work out because he will have to pit again. But look at all the other cars that are around him. They will have to pit again. Except for Sabrino. Again, he's in the golden position right now. He might very well walk away with this one. But everyone around Dovzhan, Richie and Bolga in particular, will have to pit. And Dovzhan should pit onto mediums right around now, with potentially Richie, who is coming in, and Dovzhan follows. And Bolga stays out. Interesting that. Yeah, Sabrino up to P2. As I said, I think he is the net leader right now, because he will not have to pit anymore. Most likely, if he can make these tires last another 14 laps, which they should be able to last that long, then I think it's going to be difficult for anyone to beat him. However, Farrar, 13 seconds now, the gap to Sabrino. Sabrino's going for the move, I think. Yeah, slipstream, and past he goes with the DRS. Bolga wants to catch all the slipstream immediately, almost crashes with Sabrino here. Sabrino going deep, Bolga getting the better exit. Is Bolga going to try to go back past? I don't think so. Sabrino actually used a bit of battery to stay ahead, and it did the job. So Bolga, content with staying behind, not very fussed about trying to get back past, because he knows that he has to pit again. Now, the question is, do you pit now if you're Alex Bolga? I would actually say no. I would say no. I would say you... Well, no, the reason is that Bolga right now gets DRS off of Sabrino. Oh, my goodness. I would change plans now. There you go.
Immediately into the pits. He's realised his tyres are not there.
Immediately change plans. That was the moment. Yeah, no. Normally, I would have said stay behind Sabrino, stay in the DRS. It gets you like, what, half a second a lap at least around here. And that gains you so much more than pitting onto medium tires right now would. And then you can switch onto softs later on. But that mistake ruined that, unfortunately. So Sergio Sabrino now in the lead with Tom 97 right behind him. Willem Farrar has gained another couple of seconds out of Sabrino here. This is incredible time from Willem Farrar. Last lap, 25.9. He was faster than anyone else, by 0.3 of a second at least. And that doesn't count the leaders. That counts all the guys that are on mediums with him.
And it is going to get very, very close towards the end of the race. Wyland Ferrari is certainly going to make up that time. Maybe not 7 seconds, but certainly a few.
No, he will make up the time on Taz and Harlan Marquez.
Yes, 3 seconds at least is what I would say.
Yeah, but Tom 97 and Sergio Sabrino, well, Tom 97 possibly as well, because Tom's tires are just going to fall off. But Sabrino, the mediums wear out quicker than the hards. So with every lap, Wyland Ferrari will gain less and less. Yeah, sure, right now, as it crosses the line, the gap is 10.45 seconds. I'm going to keep an eye on what it will be next time. I'm not going to bring up the race director again, because I know that we're just going to crash my game again, basically. But yeah, I think if he gains a 1.5 seconds this lap, he has a chance of getting to Sabrino. If he gains less than that, it will be unlikely. We're going to have to wait and see. If the gap at the end of this lap is under or around 9 seconds, 9.0, then Farah has a chance of getting to Sabrino. If not, I think Sabrino's just walking away with this one.
Absolutely, and it's 9.8 right now from Wyland Ferrari to Sabrino. Tom Martinez sticking well, to be fair, with him. Especially since those tyres will start falling off soon.
Yeah,
Flores
actually, Flores Vias
is round.
Spun in turn 9. And spins again, yeah. Overheated, rear tyres, yeah.
I will say, the hard tyres in this game, if you spin, they are gone. He's going to go around this corner and spin again if he's not careful. Like, they will just go. Those tires just drop. As soon as you spin them, they are just max temperature. There is no grip.
I would love to be able to see from the onboard what his tire temperatures are, but it's so grainy that I can't actually tell. But he will pit, probably for mediums or to retire, one of the two. And Wyland Ferrari actually on the line was at around 9 seconds. I didn't pay full attention, but right now it's 8.7. So he has a chance to actually make up all that time. He's working together with Harlan Marquez as well. That certainly helps both of them, because they each get 1 straight of DRS, which means the whole group gets 1 straight of DRS. And that means they are about 2 to 3 tenths faster than they normally would be if they didn't work together. But now Marquez had a horrible exit, does get DRS to get a little bit closer, but the gap is there now. 8 tenths, 7 tenths. Coming down a little bit, but that didn't help for sure. So yeah, they have to work together better than that. Whatever happened there for Harlan Marquez, it was not. Oh no, Harlan Marquez was just a stepping stone for Farah. That's what it was, because Marquez is on the old mediums and they have worn off. He's cutting corners now. He has to pit for another set of mediums, I think, if he has one, that is.
That is the biggest thing about using a lot of mediums. He's going to go into the pit lane. That's the only thing he really can do, because there's just no grip left on the tyres. But we'll see. It will be interesting to see. I'm going to stay on board with him just to see what tyres they will get to.
He retires. Wow. He feels like he has no chance of getting points.
There are only
so he retires.
And wing damage.
Wing damage. Okay, then it might be that.
Yeah,
but
I spotted them changing the wing.
Look, I've said this a couple times before. I tried not to be too harsh on these drivers because they know what they're doing. They're clearly more skilled than I am. But at the same time, I think in terms of willpower, they can learn a thing or two.
Yeah.
Just stay in it. Maybe there's a safety car. You never know. One safety car, you're back in this thing.
Yeah, literally, I'll give an example of that. I was in a race, and literally, back off the field, both myself and my teammate had spun. And literally, we got to the end, halfway towards the end of the race, and boom, safety car. It literally gives you the opportunity to get back into the race. Just because it doesn't look like you can get back into the race doesn't mean you can't. Like, the thing is, you've got to try. Unless you are spun out on hard tyres and spinning on every corner and there's no chance of getting back ever, then fair enough. But
I would actually say even then, just pit for softs and mediums as well, and for
a little bit of a bump off the track there, but what a dive to take the position of P3. And now he's going to be going after Tom Martinez with completely clean air in front of him.
Yeah. But yeah, back to that point again. I think the only time when you are absolutely, where I would not blame you at all for retiring, is either once you're 3 laps from the end, because then there can't be a safety car anymore, or you're lapped because you can't unlap yourself.
Yeah, that was the case with me.
Yeah, those are the only 2 situations in which I would be, okay, fair enough that you retire. No problem. No, I understand. You're lost. You will not get back. Unlucky. It was not your race. But Harlan Marquez had a pit stop. He would have been on new tires, would have been able to work his way through the field probably a little bit, get a couple of places. I think a P9 would have been possible for him. Even with that damage being repaired, I think it would have been fine. But instead, Boel Ferrar, meanwhile, almost spinning there on the exit of turn 9. Hello.
Are the tires dropping?
It would be a bit early. No, it would be a bit early. They should be around 35 to 40% wear right now.
That's another bit of a wobble there.
Yeah. Maybe overheating. Maybe not wearing, but overheating potentially.
Yeah, there's certainly some wobbles going in on that car because it's not looking as stable as it did. But still, like, he's gained 2 seconds or so on Tom Martinez. And I'm not sure what that penalty is on Tom Martinez. How long has he got?
I can tell you, it's a 3-second time.
Right, so basically all Boel Ferrar has to make is a 3-second gap. And that's it. Like
exactly.
And that will
all
happen.
He needs to do... Oh, Taz spins in turn 3. The Alpine is around and going again. Very bumpy road here, by the way.
I mean, according to the tyre performance there, that's on the tyres.
Yeah, that's certainly on the tyres, that one. The tricky situation with turn 3, the right-hander, is because you're going over a bit of a crest.
Yes.
The load on the tires reduces, especially the rears.
Yeah.
And what happens if the load on the rear tires reduces? They spin easier, and that's what we saw there. They wheel spin, just completely uncontrollable, and you're just a passenger at that point.
Yeah, it's the same with it's the same with the Zandvoort as well. When you go over that crest down the right-hander and the very fast right-hander down to the bottom of the hill, it's the same concept.
Yeah, exactly.
As we are currently...
Although not as severe because the corner is a bit more shallow than this turn 3 here.
Wait, Tom Martinez into the pits.
Yeah, softs.
And that's going to have to happen, but he should be able to finish the race, and he should be able to finish in the points.
Yeah, he will be behind Leroy Brown, I think, or just right where Leroy Brown is. It's going to be really close on pit exit between the 2 Mercedes.
He wants to make this count. He has to make it count.
Yeah, I hope they maybe communicate that Tom tells Leroy, hey,
faster tires.
Be ahead of me, give me DRS, and then let me through.
I think he's going to come out, behind, but how far?
Yeah.
Right behind.
Close enough for DRS. Close enough for DRS. Is he going to send it immediately? That's the question.
I don't think he will.
No.
It would be a bit silly. He's got to use the toe. Use the toe to get first.
Well, no, he just needs the DRS. He just needs the DRS.
Well, that's the thing.
Those medium tires for Leroy Brown aren't good enough. He needs clean air more than anything right now. So Tom needs to go past. I think he'll send it here. No, he wants the next DRS because he didn't feel like he was close enough, I think, to send it and it be worth it.
Yeah.
So he waits one more, gets the better exit here. Well, just as good exit here. And now he goes.
I think he wants the boost on McKee. Because that will get him closer to McKee than he would have been.
But he will get that in the final sector regardless.
Yeah, the soft tyres.
Because he's got the soft tyres.
Look how much he's just gained in a corner.
Yeah. He might actually overtake Fionn McKee before the finish line. I wouldn't be surprised.
We'll see.
Yeah, look at that. Wow.
I don't think you'll get him before the finish line, but it's certainly going to be close.
Just wait.
We will see. We will see.
No, not quite.
Oh,
but look at how close it is, though. Into turn 1.
And I don't think it's going to make the move into turn 1. That would be an absolute send.
Out. Oh, my goodness. I think they just bumped.
But this is where the
Or is
speed
he going to stay
difference is gonna
behind?
be.
I think he's going to stay.
He wants the
Ooh, yeah,
DRS.
this is why you have to be careful. He wants the DRS.
DRS.
Yeah. I think is he going to send it here though?
No, yes.
Yes.
And he's taken the
Does that
DRS
move?
line, I think, just.
Yeah.
You're going to be close.
I think so as
we
well.
will see. Brilliant move.
He has.
Brilliant move to keep the
Fia
DRS.
Mickey is trying to battle this, and I don't understand why.
Like, why would you do this? So much ERS use. Oh, bumping tires. That's so close.
Yeah, and runs him narrow. That was beautiful from Tom 97. Runs him narrow and then gets the good exit. Beautiful from Tom there. And
Leroy
he should
Brown.
be safe now.
Right on the back end of Phil McKee.
Yeah, meanwhile, the lead is closing up. Buelem Farah is 3.3 seconds behind the leader with right around 5 laps to go. The gap is coming down 3.1 across the line. 5 laps. He needs to gain right around 6/10 a lap.
And how much is he?
Granted, a little bit more right now, probably 7 or 8 tenths right now, in order to be within DRS by the time it matters.
It will be interesting to see how much faster he is than the car ahead.
Danny Mean with a 3-second time penalty. We're going to disregard that real quick because the fight for the win is heating up. And I can tell you right now, both of these drivers need this win. Sergio Sobrino, the winner of the last race at Spain already, his home race. So he's on a massive high right now. And Buelem Farah, the winner of Canada 3 weeks ago, and the Belgium sprint race, as well as today's sprint race. So both drivers already with a win so far this season. Who can make it 2 race wins here today? It's going to be one of the two. It could also be Harvey Cohen, but I think he's a bit too far away at this point. 3 seconds, 3.8 behind Farah. But he already had 2 wins this season so far in Belgium and Monza, so he doesn't need any more right now. But those two, oh my god, he gained a second.
Yeah, I was going to say, Buelem
Oh,
Farah,
and Sabrino's running wide in the final corner.
he's gained. Oh, that is a basically gift to Buelem
Yeah,
Farah.
that's
I mean,
it.
he gained a second,
That's
and
it.
that's given him it. He's
calling
in the DRS.
I'm calling it. I'm saying it right now. I think Buelem Farah is going to win this. I don't see any way in which Sergio Sobrino is going to be able to fight back from this. So Buelem Farah is going to get close on the first DRS zone here. That is coming up right here. And then he will overtake him into turn 9. I think that's how it's going to go.
I agree.
And it should be a bit of a cakewalk for him as well. 7/10. Yeah, the straight is long. 6/10. Where is it? There. There it is. Tells me you want the fastest lap. Not that it's worth anything here. Or he might be a bit too far away. He might be a bit too far away for now.
Yeah, I think he will be.
Yeah, I think I know what's going on. Farah is trying to save up just a little bit of ERS to then make the move happen a bit later, but the tires are working against him.
And of course, it's
This
a
is
good
a-
strategy. It's a great strategy.
Yeah, this is a risky call because, again, the ERS might be working for him, but the tires are working against him. So does it offset the time that the delta that you lose every lap compared to Sabrino's hards, or does it not? If it doesn't, then you should be working for the first opportunity you can get and make it pass and make the most of your tires while you can. If, however, the ERS gain offsets that tire loss, then it's totally fine to do this. Oh, this is
Precisely.
a tough call to make. If I was Buelem's engineer, I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I would tell him. So, I mean, this is a coin flip, basically.
You can either stay behind, gain the DRS, but then the problem is you give them it if you go past them. So I guess that is the concern. It's a case of, I personally think leaving the DRS, if the real push of a strategy would be he's going to absolutely back out. He backed out. I think the strategy here is probably going to be stay behind him until the final lap. It's a really risky move, but that
it is very risky.
But it is the only one that does
He's
not...
going.
He's going. I was wrong. I am so happy to be wrong.
Yeah, around the outside, and he makes it happen. Whoa, wonderful overtake there. But Now in the final sector, can he pull a 1 second gap? That if he can, then he's gone.
Very likely. I think it's likely that he can, but I don't think it's going to happen just purely because of the tire grip.
No, the tire grip should be fine. It's more a matter of who will make a mistake.
Oh, will we see a mistake
not.
from either of them? That is the question.
Yeah, 7/10 already. 8/10.
Sergio's going to have to use all the ERS he has available, of which he doesn't have much, only 5%.
He has none. He basically has that, but he just extended that turn 1 a little bit cheekily, maybe got a warning for it, but he was able to afford that warning. He's in DRS.
Which, to be
fair...
fair...
Oh, that is smart. That is
move.
a tactical warning. Oh, that is so clever. I mean...
And real drivers would do that.
Leaving the track and gaining an advantage, question mark?
Yeah.
You gotta read into the rulebook at this
He's
point.
He's gonna get an advantage on the run.
The game allows it. The game allows it. Also, I'm not sure he got a warning for it because he was so far off track that because he ran wider, the game may not have considered it to be a corner cut or track limit extension or whatever. Drake Dempsey's off. Drake Dempsey's off. Oh no, he spun to the right on the exit of turn 7. Oh no, that was good points thrown away by P6 in the standings. He would have made a massive jump. He would have overtaken Kjeldsen, who's already out. He would have gotten closer to Thomas Harvey, and now it's a 0 for Drake Dempsey. That is about as unlucky as it gets.
And I think, yeah, Boala Farah's going to break the 1 second.
Another
He's broken the 1 second mark.
Turn 1, another technical turn 1 for Sabrino.
No.
Not this time, not this time.
I think he's worried about warnings now. But how far to that DRS line? He's going to be within the second. He's well within the second. Boala Farah slowing down.
Farah made a mistake.
Oh, no.
Either Farah made a mistake.
Whoa!
Oh, descent. I cannot believe what I'm seeing.
Farah's going to lose second.
What is happening with Farah?
What happened there? That was a massive break. That felt more like a brake check than
his tires gone? Does he
his
have
tires
a
can't be gone, Bono. They can't be gone. They can't. He's lost another place.
Yeah.
He's
He spun. I can't. Wow. I cannot believe it.
And Harvey Cohen, you said maybe Harvey Cohen. Harvey Cohen's on the back end of Sergio Sabrino. He's going to go round the outside into the corner.
He's going for it right the outside.
This is going to be an immense battle.
They touch
wheels.
They touch.
And he's still bumping rubber. This is immense. They're still side by side. This is either going to end up in a horrific accident or a great move by Harvey Cohen. Now all he has to do is hold it for the final few corners. He's just got to keep it round these buttons. Sergio Sabrino gets a 3-second time penalty. And that's going to be Harvey Cohen as long as he can hold it together around this final couple of corners in the Red Bull. Harvey Cohen is going to bring it around the final corner and win here in Abu Dhabi. That was an exceptional race, but unfortunate for Boala Farah.
Yeah,
My
certainly.
goodness.
So down to P9. I do think he does actually have a puncture.
That's a problem.
Because the way he is moving about, I think the rear right is gone. I'm not sure. But it seems like the rear right looked very weird to me. But like when he started dropping time.
Let's have a look.
It looked like the rear right looked a bit off.
Yeah, rear right's punctured. That is absolutely a puncture. I can see it. I can see it wobbling. Yeah, it's going. Brrr.
Yeah. It's hard to see. But the rear right gave in on him.
That is gutting.
I'm gonna ask him real quick in the Discord.
That had to be a puncture. That's exactly why he slammed the brakes.
Yeah.
That's
he
why
lost all that time from that puncture. The moment he started losing time was exactly when the tire punctured.
70.
Oh no!
Yeah.
This is the worst luck imaginable. I just got message from him. He lost the tire. It punctured at 70%, which is
70.
the earliest moment at which the tire can puncture.
Harvey Cohen.
And that is the worst luck imaginable.
But the best luck for Harvey Cohen. Because, of course, he jumps right onto the top of the podium.
It is Harvey Cohen's third victory of the season, fifth podium if you count the Belgium sprint race, if not fourth. And fantastic job by him. Kept his nose clean.
Oh no!
What an unlikely victor in the end here. 30 points for Harvey Cohen, which means he's on 110 now. But Jeffrey Ritchie still leads with 125. 15-point gap between those two. Bourlem Farah only gets 10 points, so he will be on 83 and stays in P4. Sergio Sobrino gets 18 points, so he moves up to 57. Yerne Dovjan gets 17 points. He moves up to 36. That is P13, it seems. Tom97 gaining himself a good 10 points here, so he'll be on 52. Alex Bolger gains 10, so I think he'll be on 10.
Yeah.
That is
so.
correct. Nelson Alves, 8 points, so he'll be on 31. He goes ahead of Felipe Sosa at least. Flores Valles first 7 points, and that is that. My goodness, what a drama-filled race. Bourlem Farah loses on what I would consider to be the right strategy, and certainly he was the most pacey driver today. Loses the rear right on the final lap, and loses not just the lead, but a top 8 position, drops down to P9. And Harvey Cohen is the winner. I mean, Harvey Cohen deserved it, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to say that he didn't, but this must feel like such a gut punch for Bourlem Farah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just so close, and then all of it gone.
Yeah.
Because of immensely bad luck. That's just bad luck. It's immense. It's just,
I've seen, again, when Harvey Cohen made his tires last at Monza, they didn't puncture until 77%. So they lasted that long, but for Bourlem Farah, it punctured at 70. That is just the worst. That is just the worst.
But I will say, it's an incredible race. Not many races have that level of drama.
Instant classic. WOR Tier 2. That being said, we're going to get 3 more of those. We have 3 more races left in the season, and a 15-point gap between the 2 championship leaders. Jeffrey Ritchie on 125, Harvey Cohen on 110. And we are heading to Japan next week. Suzuka calling. Let's hope we don't get any tractors on the circuit. Unbelievable that happened.
Yeah.
And then Brazil and Jeddah will be the season finale. Would have liked it the other way around personally. Brazil is the season finale, always delivers, I feel like. But, it is what it is. Japan and Brazil, 2 traditionally late season circuits in there. So that's wonderful. And it's going to be amazing. The title fight is far from over. No driver can actually win the championship next race. So we're going to have an open championship fight at least until Brazil. So isn't that something? I'm very much looking forward to that. And Scruffy, thank you for being with me here, jumping in for Hyper.
Enjoyed it.
I think Hyper will be back next week. I'm pretty sure.
Here's hoping anyway.
Yeah.
not on my side. Just here's hoping. He's an excellent commentator.
Yeah. I see. I thought at first that.
Oh no! I would absolutely.
But no, I understand.
I will 100% be back because if he can't do it next week, I will.
But yeah, I think he will be back.
Yes.
I think he will be back, and Japan should be another great race. Japan mostly characterized by the fact that there's only one DRS train. It's not the longest either. So DRS trains are going to be quite rare, but at the same time, you have to get creative to overtake, and that will usually bring out the best in drivers. Sometimes the worst, but
like
mostly
Latifi,
the best.
Creating a new circuit for himself.
He's also creating a new race distance for himself.
Yeah, I know,
but,
right?
that's a different story. Anyway, we'll see you guys next week at Suzuka. Until then, goodbye.